Hey, Auction Nation, it's Sherry Truler with Red Apple Auctions. Today, we're going to be talking about selling the decorations at your event. That's right, the stuff that you're using to create that theme, selling it so that you can reduce the amount of your decor budget in the end because you're selling your decorations. And I'm going to talk about this even though the fact is that we're really looking to simplify a lot of our events now. By simplify, I mean we're not selling as many live auction items. We're not selling or even eliminating our silent auctions. We're not offering 3 and 4 different games in our auctions. We're offering 1 or 2. The whole trend is to simplify, not give people as many options, as many ways to, donate. But I need to talk about this today because I need an easy topic because I got somewhere I got to go. So I'm going to make this fast because it's easy to talk about. So the first thing I want to talk about, I got 3 points I jotted down. First thing I want to talk about is all the places that you probably have decor and maybe you haven't thought about selling it. Okay, first one, the front entrance. So think about, you may have some sort of display before people get to the registration table or around the registration table. You've got an astronaut theme and you got a big inflatable astronaut that you bought at Costco or a Sam's Club or online somewhere. Or maybe it's a superhero theme and you've got a big superhero, inflatable superhero, or a big statue kind of thing of a superhero. That kind of stuff can be sold. So that's one place. Number 2, photo booth. And I'm talking about like a selfies type station, something that you're putting up just for decor. For instance, you've got give me a theme. You got an Italian theme and you've purchased a backdrop of Venice because Venice is your theme. So you've got that behind you. Or you've got, something that's a disco theme and you've got disco behind you. That's what I'm talking about, is selling the backdrop. Oh, another example of that. A few years ago, I did a political theme and they had cardboard cutouts of the candidates that were running at that time. And, the life-size cardboard cutouts, selling the cardboard cutouts. That's an example of something like the photo booth I'm talking about that you could sell. Number 2, stuff that you're hanging from the ceiling. You got a night disco theme and you're bought big disco balls, those could be sold or offered. Another actually just 2 weekends ago, I was in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and they had a 70s tie-dye theme. And they were offering like the macrame decorations and they had some like tie-dye stuff that they were selling, offering from the ceiling. That's an example of something as well, hanging stuff from the ceiling. If any of you shop in Anthropologie always does these wonderful displays. A lot of stuff hangs from the ceiling. And I've got a couple of schools that kind of do the same thing. You can offer that kind of stuff. If you got something pretty hanging from the ceiling, it could be offered. Number 4, on the silent auction tables. Maybe you've got beautiful greenery on the silent auction tables. You've got little votive candles. Maybe you've got a lantern on the silent auction table. That kind of stuff can be sold. And 5th, centerpieces themselves. I know that's where you were originally going. You were like, oh yeah, decor centerpieces. And that's the obvious one. But as I've already given, there's lots of other options too. So centerpieces, obvious one, could be floral arrangements, could be non-floral arrangements. In fact, that's my next point, is to talk about non-floral arrangements, but floral arrangements could be one of those. Now, thinking about centerpieces specifically, there are other activities that can be done at your event to raise money with those centerpieces, but that's not what I'm talking about in this video. I'm really just talking about flat rate sales, selling decor, of which an example of that would be centerpieces on the table. So usually flowers, but not always. So let's go into the next point that I wanted to talk about. Yes, centerpieces do not always need to be fresh flowers. By the way, if you're finding this video helpful, please feel free to like or subscribe or share this video. You can be an overachiever like me and do all 3. I'd love that too. Centerpieces, not always fresh flowers. So for an example of that, hospice a few years ago here in the area, they had beautiful terrariums for sale. I want to say it was $65. And that was a lot of money then. So beautiful terrariums, not fresh flowers, but something you could sell. Candelabras, lanterns, glass bowls with floating candles. What about betta fish? Saw that years ago. They had one of these tall glass, something like bigger than you'd put pasta in, but something like that. And they filled it with water and they had a betta fish swimming around in each one. And that was the centerpiece. And then they offered those for sale at the end of the night. So that's my second point. Centerpieces don't necessarily need to be fresh flowers. And the third and final point I'm going to talk about here today, before I scram, is that this often works if you're doing an event around a holiday and you do want to reduce your decor expenses somehow, thinking about that holiday and what you could sell in relation to it is going to be your best bet. So for case in point, if your event is on Friday or Saturday and Mother's Day is on Sunday, ooh, fresh flowers that you could give to your mom, somebody could give to their mom, would be a good idea to sell at your event. But think about that. You know, if you've got an astronaut theme and you've got a bunch of astronaut stuff coming out of your centerpiece, that's probably not going to work for mom. So you just got to plan ahead for something like that. Or if you've got the holidays coming up and you're selling a bunch of holiday decor, that's a nice tie-in. Now, a lot of people do have a lot of Christmas and holiday decor already, but maybe you're doing around something that's not as well decorated. Halloween's getting really well decorated now too, but maybe, I don't know, maybe it's Easter, or maybe it's what's some nominal holiday, July 4th. You know, I'm trying to think of Valentine's Day, even things that traditionally people aren't putting as much outside, but you've got something that could go outside, or you've got something that could be used to decorate the home. That's something that you might want to think about decorating with that holiday in mind, so that you could turn around and sell those decorations and make money. Now, when I've seen them sold, sometimes, you know, I'm just announcing something from the stage. If it's as simple as the centerpiece on the table, then I can announce that from the stage. I've seen a lot of times they're given away, but not always. I'm thinking of a couple of weeks ago, I was working up in where was it, Connecticut, and they had like fresh tulips. Sometimes the vases don't come with it. Sometimes it's just the flowers. It depends on your arrangement with the florist. And then last fall, oh, these were pretty. They were pumpkins hollowed out, and they had flowers in them. It was a real, you know, fall festive sort of a centerpiece. Sometimes those are just given away, but if they're sold, that's something that your auctioneer can just announce from the stage. But if you're getting hardcore into this, here's an example. I know you're not going to be able to read it because it's too small and everything, but this is a page. You see all this? These were all the decor items that were sold at this event. This was pulled from a 2006 school auction catalog. And I didn't work with this school that year. So I think, I don't know how I got this page, but somehow or the other, I got a catalog from them, and I saved this page. And they had 48 different decor items that were for sale. And they listed them. And then I'm just going to read to you what they said. The lovely decorations creating our starry winter's night can be yours to take home. If you'd like to purchase any of these items, stop by the decoration sales table in the lobby, and note that quantities are limited. And they've listed that in parentheses. So for instance, the cheapest thing that they've got on here, votives, snow dusted sparkling glass. They have 600 of those. They are $5 each. The most expensive thing they're selling is a pre-lit 7.5-foot tree with cashmere white on it. They only had one of those. They were selling it for $500. Most of the stuff they're selling here is in the $25 to $45 range. Let me pull something here. Okay, margarita glass, 10.5 inches with ornaments in it. They had 2 of those, selling them for $30 each. Yeah, you get the idea. Star top, treetop ornaments, tinsel type things. Lots of trees here of different sizes and so forth. So that, if you're going to go hardcore on selling decoration, that's a good way to do it, because they've got an actual, it's more or less an order form here, but you're going to go to the decorations table and buy all of that. So keep it in mind. Think about what your event is, when your event is, and you can make a difference there in reducing the cost of your event simply by selling some of your decor. If you're looking for other great ideas, redappleauctions.com is where I live online the most. You can find me over there, set up an appointment. We can talk about your gala. You can also get some free downloads over there as well. So if you're looking for the top 100 items that I sold in the charity auctions that I worked around the country last year, download the auction item guide. It's free for you there. And that's always a great one to take to your procurement meeting. As always, good luck to you in your fundraising gala. Bye.